let's hop in to what could be the most important best of 3 of the day. In fact, definitely is the most important best of 3 of the day. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Blackburn, we have our red Protoss player representing Berlin International Gaming. It is showtime. And his opponent, in the lower left for the Shopify Rebellion, is the Blue Zerg, Lambo. Lambo the Lambro. Even points means Lambo wins on tiebreaker. How does he win on tiebreaker though? Is it just straight up head to head? Is it in ESL affiliated events? Is it in every event? Like every competitive event this year or something? How do they do that? How do they figure out the tiebreaker? That's crazy. I assume it's like ESL, any event that awards ESL points. They would use the records from those events. But it's worth noting that there's still the North American Cup. And I said it earlier, I would be shocked if both players didn't play. I'd be really genuinely shocked. The only way that I could see one player not playing is if ShowTime wins this cup, then Lambo can't catch him in the North American Cup, no matter what. So we could see Lambo not play in that case. I would still imagine ShowTime would play though, because, well, no, I guess he wouldn't even have to. He wouldn't even have to worry about it. He might just go to sleep. Yeah, interesting. $10 yeehaws wouldn't really be that bad if I was just kind of chilling. You know, if I was just cruising like a regular day. I could give 30 yeehaws in a regular day, 50 maybe, but it would kill my voice. And unfortunately, I need my voice to do my job. So it'd be really hard to cast StarCraft without it. I've tried. Not great. Doesn't go too well. What are they rebelling against? So the Shopify Rebellion are rebelling against the concept that StarCraft is a dead game, as they have been the biggest sponsor the last couple of years, really. And a brand new sponsor, Shopify, sponsoring StarCraft, coming into the game later on and putting a lot of money in, money where their mouth is. So big shout out to them. Building a team and really investing into the future of StarCraft. Supporting events. Actually putting a ton of money in to support these weeklies. The reason we have $800 weeklies instead of, I think they were $300 before. A big part of that is Shopify. On even points, Lambo wins because of more global points. Oh, okay. That's very interesting. That's tough to follow. That's one of those things that like somebody's got to do some real math to figure that out. I assume the next event is the reason for that. Because that is really the only big difference between the two of them, is that Lambo did extremely well in that event. So that must give global points. That's interesting. So the global points end up kind of weighing heavier than the regional points, which I think is appropriate. I actually like that choice a lot. That's very interesting now. There is 100%. There's a world in which they end up tied. It'd be very easy. He's gonna message ShowTime and decide whether or not to stay up for NA. So yeah, that's the thing. Like, oh man. They're going to have to play. I think they have to play. Again, unless ShowTime wins this event, wins this cup, which he could, but it's worth noting, we do have Clem here, Marine and MaxPax in here as well. We've also got Beyond. I see Creator in here. There are players that can make that very, very difficult for either of these guys. I think the winner of this goes to a semifinal against probably Clem. Almost certainly Clem. Which is extremely difficult for either of these players. Clem's really good at this video game. Wow, 9 workers going down there to the triple Oracle, double Adept harass. Okay, by double Adept I mean 5 Adepts. That makes it feel a little bit better for Lambo, but still a very good start here for ShowWTime. Doesn't lose any of those Oracles, which is really, really nice. I've been mostly focused on trying to figure out the point situation here. Looks like we're going to be a little bit chill here. ShowWTime just trying to get a little damage done on these lings. I kind of wish he had gone for this hatch a bit. Oracles actually do pretty bonkers damage against buildings. Oh. Sport Crawler gets a kill. Few more drones go down, but losing that Oracles, a little bit unfortunate. There are a lot of roaches coming out for Lambo, which he's going to need because there's units coming across the map for ShowWTime. He's going to need those roaches. He's got Ravagers morphing to help against the force fields, and I honestly think ShowWTime needs to get the hell out of here. I think he needs to run away. ShowWTime. I do not like him being out here like this. Lambo's got a lot of stuff coming out. He's got roaches. Roach speed's about to finish up. And there are some force fields available, but again, the Biles can take those down, and this is a very open area. Yeah, I was just about to say I'd love to see a recall. He doesn't even lose that Stalker, so a good recall from ShowWTime. He hits the top of that ramp, just pops out of there. There's a lot of units for Lambo. Wow, Jesus. Okay, he's not even saturating this gold. There's no drones coming out. He's got Bane speed on the way. He's going for the full-on all-in here. 67 drones. He's going to try to take down these rocks. ShowWTime does have 1 Disruptor. But 1 Disruptor, honestly, is not the scariest thing in the world unless it gets the maximum damage hit. We'll have to see. Lambo accidentally force fielding himself here with the Baneling Morph. Oh, baby. All right, first Disruptor Nova comes out, gets a big hit, 7 kills, and I think 3 of those were Ravagers. Second Disruptor is still available. There are some Queens to help with the Oracles. Second Disruptor doesn't get a single shot, a single connection, I should say. And there are a lot of Banes here, which these Stalkers aren't particularly weak against anymore. But that's a lot of Banes. This 4th base is dead. ShowWTime just trying to trim off some units in the meantime so that when he does have to take this fight, and he will have to, it's a little bit easier to take. That was a decent Disruptor hit. A couple of nice force fields here. And Lambo is going to pull back. He is droning up this gold now. He's going to go ahead and take a 5th base. And he's just going to pull back. I imagine, yeah, we'll see some tech here. Infestation pick coming up. I did see a DT warp in. That's kind of cheeky. Don't know where that was. Looks like they're just going to be Archons, but I feel like some DTs could be really cheeky and sneaky in here. That's a lot of Banelings. Lambo going to try to get some big damage into this 3rd base. But there is a big wall here for ShowWTime. He's got, it's just 1 cannon, but it'll potentially help him buy some time. But the Banes might just go for some of this static defense down here. Yep, they're going to go ahead and take out some of these probes. Take down the cannons. That's a lot of dead probes. Takes down both cannons. Maybe not worth the Banes, but I think generally speaking worth the Banes. And now Lambo's out on the map here. He's already zoomed out. There's just a lot of army. That feeling when you don't realize you're already zoomed out because there is so much stuff here. Lambo trying to run by, but actually gets caught by ShowWTime. That is a really nice catch for ShowWTime. Kills a lot of these Lings and Banes. Lambo does get some Lings up here anyways. So I'd love to see those run in, actually, because there is not a cannon here. Now he's going to go ahead and morph some Banes first. But he's still got this very low tech, but very high amount of units. Not really high army supply, just high amounts of units with these LingBanes here. This army. It is low tech, though. He's got the Hive about to finish, but there's nothing. Just Roach Ravager, LingBane. Lings and Banes try to go in. There's still a few up here, but I don't think they're going to get too much more done. Oh, this is a big concave, though, coming in from Lambo. The Disrupting Novas try to go up, but they don't really get the connections they need. And wow, those Archons eating up so many Lings and Banes, though. And that is the real problem with this style from Lambo, is he's so LingBane heavy. And those Archons in front, man, just absolutely tanking the world. While the rest of the units pull back, they trim off the fat. And suddenly Lambo's in quite a bit of trouble here. He's trying to morph 28 more Banelings, but he's losing a lot of his gold mining here. He's going to lose some drones. He's not getting any damage done on this side of the map, so ShowWTimE's going to be able to take 5th base, which will put them on even bases fairly soon. And that is not good for Lambo. ShowWTime in a commanding position right now. And again, no higher tech for Lambo. He committed to that attack earlier, which meant that his tech was quite a bit delayed, and he just hasn't been able to get it out. He needs to keep building units instead of trying to tech up. He does have a good amount of Roach Ravager here, which means the Biles can help, but as the Lings and Banes all die, look at how many Stalkers are left for ShowWTime. That's going to be too many Stalkers, and I think that is just going to be GG in game 1 here. We do have some Lings potentially getting damage on, maybe some Banes here in the probe line, but I just don't think there's any answer for this army. GG. ShowWTime takes game number 1. All right, let's hop in. Game number 2 here. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Berlingrad, we have our Blue Zerg player for the Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. And his opponent in the upper left, sitting up 1-0 right now, is a very, very important best of 3. He's won that first game. It is Big Esports ShowWTime. It's hard for me to overstate just how important this match is. Like, it may not seem that important if you're not, maybe if you don't really know Katowice that well, and you're like, well, you know, what's the difference? They both still get into Katowice, and that's true. That's true. They do both still get into Katowice. I'm going to take a look here real quick, though. So, the group stage is 24 players. Between these two players, one of them will probably, by the end of the day, be not guaranteed, because again, a laser could upset in the last chance tournament, but he'd have to do a big upset. What was I saying? Yeah, so one of these players will almost certainly get themselves a round of 24 spot versus the round of 36 spot, which may not sound like a big difference, but it is a big difference because the bracket is extremely difficult to get through. And the prize difference between even getting through the bracket or getting to the end of the bracket but losing at the end. So only 4 players get through the 36-person bracket to join the round of 24. I'm pretty sure it's 4 players. 25th and 26th get $950, and just being in the group stage, you get $2,000. So this best of 3 could very well determine who gets that extra $1,050, which seems pretty important to me, but it's even more than that, because then you're in the group stage. If you do well in the group stage, you can make another $2,000, and if you get to the bracket, you can make even more money. It's actually insane how much you can make just by getting seeded into the group stage and winning a few matches. versus going into the bracket where, I mean, there's going to be a lot of very strong players in the bracket. Neither of these players want to be in that bracket because that is tough, man. And there's no guarantee that they will make it out of that. They're going to be insane players in that bracket. And if you get knocked out early in the bracket, so I gave you guys 950 is the figure for almost getting out but not quite. If you almost get out but not quite in the lower bracket, it's 750.
Oh man, Chickenman.
And if you don't make it very far at all, you get 350. It's like, imagine getting into that bracket, losing your first 2 matches to like really sick players, and then getting 350 while your opponent in this match right here just gets $2,000 from winning this best of 3. That's genuinely very possible. Well, the thing is, Wimpy, it's not just the event getting canceled. It's also the fact that even if I wanted to say, my flights are to Amsterdam. If I wanted to, like, screw it. Home Story Cup is canceled. That's fine. I'll go to Amsterdam. I'll have a good time anyways. I can't. Because even for vaccinated people from outside of the EU, it's a 10-day quarantine in Amsterdam right now. So even if I wanted to go to Amsterdam, I have a 7-day trip, I think. A 6-day trip or something like that. I wouldn't even be able to leave my hotel room. I'd have to go to the hotel and just sit in the hotel for 6 days and not be able to go anywhere in Amsterdam. So because of COVID, I can't even take the trip. So it's not only the event being shifted, it's also that I cannot physically go. Like I couldn't do anything there because of COVID. And that was something that changed after I bought my tickets. I don't know exactly when, but it did change after I bought my tickets. I did buy travel insurance, but I don't know if travel insurance covers it. If it doesn't, if I cannot, as Karen as I'm going to try to be on the phone with them, if I cannot get them to cancel my tickets, I will talk about that shortly. Because Lambo's on this side of the map with 3 queens. He's got Lings. We've got Roaches and Ravagers. He's got 3 more queens walking their way over here as well. And ShowWTime, who did go for like a Sentry Robo kind of opening, should be okay for this, but not great. And he's just sacking this third. At least temporarily. Whoa. Good files there. Actually damaged the Oracle and almost kill that cannon as well. He's going to let the third tank some damage here. He's going to go for a recall on the probe, so even if he loses this base, and it looks like he will lose this base, he will at least have those probes out of there. Queens get caught a little bit on their own here, but not enough force field energy to actually force field that whole ramp. Good file on the little opening here as well. And now Lambo is going to put pressure onto this natural. Is he going to actually stay here, though? Looks like the queens are going home for the most part, except this one. She's sticking around. And the Ravagers are just going to poke and prod. They have more range than anything else. He really wants to take out Gateway down, and he will take it down. So this did good damage, but it was by no means a game end. The Oracles come in, get a few kills as well. Lambo's economy is not great, so he kills the third. That's really nice. But that was kind of the minimum damage he needed to do for this attack to work. ShowWTime made sure he didn't get any more than the minimum. And Lambo misplaced his base. Wow. I'm going to assume that's why he canceled and restarted it. That is terrible. That's very, very painful because he needs that 4th base up. He knows ShowWTime's making a 3rd. He is droning up, so he got up to 68 drones, so he's got a decent economy behind this. Of course, he did a lot of damage to ShowWTime's economy, but ShowWTime saved those probes. So now he can long distance mine. He's got 59 workers, which is really not that bad. of the Oracles goes down, but the Oracles have kind of done what they're going to do here for now. The follow-up here is going to be the real big thing. So again, similar to last game, Lambo did some good damage with his big committed attack, but he sacrifices a lot of tech for it. Now, it does look like he's going to be able to get this infestation pit up. Is he going to start his hive? That is the intention here, but hive takes a long time. Any tech off of hive takes even longer. So he kind of ends up in this tough position where he needs the low tech units, but low tech units may not win the fight for very long. As we have disruptors coming out. Disruptor Novas are notoriously difficult to dodge with Roach Ravager, especially if you get caught off free. Can be very, very painful. We've seen some absolutely insane hits on this channel with disruptors against Roach Ravager. I don't even remember what match it was that I watched. I cast one day. It was 2 Korean players, and it was on this map too, and one of the Zerg player just absolutely got decimated by the Disruptor Novas. Roach Ravager here putting some pressure on, trying to take down these rocks just to open up this area a little bit more. In the meantime, LingBane gonna force a cancel on this base. Looks like they're gonna mostly just try to run away after that. ShowWTime doing everything he can to try to stay in this game, though. He's got some Adepts and a Prism. This is, I will say, this is a much better game for Lambo than last game. That Prism gets away with 10 hit points. And it looks like he will be able to get, he's got his hive done. He's going to be able to get into that higher tech. With the Spire going down, I feel like it's going to be Broodlords, which I don't hate, but kind of intrigued by. Spire is quite late, though, so that those Broodlords are far away, if that is the plan. There's no Hydra Den, so there's no lurkers on the way out. ShowWTime is very good against lurkers, though. Oh, LingBane kind of running into the wrong side of town, but that means the Roach Ravager should be able to get some damage done here. Whew, shield battery overcharged. Not enough to save that Disruptor to get the Nova off. And a ton of Banelings going to try to smash their way through. That is a sick force field. And the Disruptor Nova to follow it up, getting 10 Bane kills. But the LingBane counterattack here, he might be able to kill this base. Oh, he decides not to go for it. I feel like if he had smashed the Banes, those Ling's going to finish it off. But he wants to just pull back, keep the threat over there, come back into this third, and with the much higher army supply and pretty solid economy, Lambo should be able to just keep this pressure on. He takes down the third. The Lings and Banes have all died over here, and they didn't really get too much done. But Lambo does get at least somewhat of a victory. And behind this, he's got Vipers coming out. Spire is done. I would love to see the Greater Spire start up, because I do feel like Broodlords can be strong. Now, Stalker Archon can be good against Broods, but if you have enough Roach Ravager underneath, like Ling Roach Ravager, it don't matter. Stalkers and Archons can't really do anything against them. That being said, the Spire could just be for Corruptors, because we have Carriers coming out now for ShowWTime. The Carriers do not have any air upgrades right now, nor do they have any shield upgrades. So these are 0/0/0 Carriers, right? Which, I'll tell you guys, they don't really do much damage. But Lambo doesn't have any Carapace upgrades, so I guess it kind of works both ways, right? He also doesn't have much anti-air. He is starting up those Corruptors now, like I was talking about, but yeah, those are going to be pretty important. They won't have any upgrades either, though, so. Well, Blinks on top of one of the Vipers, gets it. Carrier's a little far away, and these ground units are dying for ShowWTime. Good yoinks on the Immortals. They're both going to fall. Baneling's chasing probes here. Decent Disruptor Nova. Roach Ravager will get pushed away. Probes, a lot of them are going to go down. 21 probes getting killed there. There was a lot of army traded for Lambo, but he killed a lot of ShowWTime's army as well. Trades have been slightly better for ShowWTime, but I don't know if it's enough to overcome the income advantage that Lambo has had for the majority of this game. And now, with a good amount of Corruptors out, I don't think these Carriers are going to last that long in the air. ShowWTime taps out as he sees that there are, in fact, Corruptors. There is, in fact, anti-air to deal with his Carriers. GG gets called, and Lambo will tie the series up. This series that is like at minimum a $2,000 series. Potentially. Again, I would love if after all of this, a laser just dominates the last chance tournament and beats both of them and knocks them both down to the round of 36. I'd feel really bad for these guys, but that would be, I mean, what a story that would be for a laser. Wow. 47ness. Wow. Welcome back to the Cock Flock. Always good to have you here, buddy. Thank you so much for the 13-month resubscription. Wow. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Hardwire, we have our blue Zerg player for the Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. And his opponent, in the upper right, the red Protoss for the Berlin International Gaming. ShowWTime. I assume he's still on the team. Doesn't have a tag or anything. I feel like he hasn't had that tag for a while. So this is a tense match. Because if both the players agree not to play in Americas, I think they have to agree to either both play or neither play. And apparently they are talking about whether or not they want to both play or neither play. I don't think it would make any difference. It's really tough. I mean, I feel like they should both play. I really feel like they should both play. I know it's going to mean staying up late, but like, this is it. The cup after this, the NA Cup, is the last time, other than the last chance tournament, which still has to play. It's the last time for these two players to earn any points. But after this series, if they don't play, we will know who's getting into the round of 24 of Katowice and who's getting into the round of 36. I don't think there's a way for a laser to, like, just get enough points to edge out one but not the other. Got it to be a super specific amount of points. I don't think that's really possible. ShowWTime is going to go for a Stargate opener, which I say like I'm surprised, but I think he's opened Stargate both games. Yeah, because he had an Oracle last game, and he went triple Oracle first game. That clip is really something. It is really something. Another Oracle opener here for ShowWTime. He's one of the players that has resisted Void Ray openers since they became a thing. He is stuck with ground, and honestly, it's worked pretty decently for him. I think the biggest thing is that because a lot of Zerg players they've been so focused on how to deal with Void Rays that keeping in mind that you also have to deal with ground compositions from a player like ShowWTime, it's like a whole nother ball game, because every other Protoss player is going for Void Rays, and they do go for ground compositions from time to time, but you can usually deal with it. But ShowWTime is so damn good with his ground compositions that you have to, it's like it's a whole different meta with ShowWTime, where we see Lambo not even going for lurkers, which is usually the like standard operating procedure for dealing with Protoss going ground. Is you're just like, all right, straight to lurkers, boom, straight to hive, straight to lurkers, easy peasy, let's kill them. But ShowWTime knows how to play ground against lurkers. It's tough to do, but ShowWTime is one of the best at it. Trap has also shown his ability to do that, but it's extremely rare. Even like Zest, I don't see Zest deal with that very often, because he either tries to win before that time or he goes straight into carriers. Like, it's a really unique thing dealing with ShowWTime in this matchup right now. They could both still make the round of 36? But they could both still make the round of 36. They cannot both make the round of 24. They cannot both make round of 24. Only one of them can. Unless somebody else drops out. Oh, the global points though, right? That's true. That's true. I don't know how it works. Actually, I don't. That's tough to follow because there isn't like a clear number for the global points. I think you have to like go do some math. How close is Lambo in global points? If DRG doesn't win any matches at DreamHack Last Chance, and a Laser doesn't make the finals at DreamHack Last Chance, and Zest withdraws from Katowice, then both ShowWTime and Lambo are in round 24. Oh. I'll be honest, I think all of that is actually quite likely. The biggest question mark there for me is Zest, because we just don't have any information on that. It's been a maybe for like months and months, and as we get closer, we're just waiting for the answer. DRG, I think it's very, very possible he wins matches. I don't know how many matches he has to win, though, in order to get enough global points to overcome Lambo. Because Lambo's the one with the more global points. That's a nice catch on a lot of Lings here. 15 drones have died during this game. A lot of them to these oracles. It looks like a couple of Adepts doing some work as well. Yeah, I forgot about the global points. That's a good call, Phil. Thank you for reminding me of that. Those are a lot harder to keep track of because there are like wild card kind of slots open to anybody from any region who has a certain amount of global points. It's like, it's really, I don't know, it's really specific. But Lambo is in the running for that, I guess, right next to DRG. How many global points do Lambo and DRG have respectively? Because if a Laser gets to the finals, then he'll overtake both Lambo and ShowWTime, and he will take the one round of 24 spot that one of them would have gotten. That's how he makes a difference. Zest withdrawing shifts the points in Korea, which is how he makes a difference. And then DRG and Lambo must be very close in global points then, for that difference to be possible. DRG already has a guaranteed 40 global points from Last Chance. But if he wins some amount of matches, I guess he'll overcome. This is very interesting. This is so interesting. I love it. This is what the weeklies are meant to be, man. Ugh. Those Disruptor Novas. Lambo shockingly going for a heavy LingBane Ravager composition once again. Handful of those Banes get caught and killed, but we've got another big group of Banes going to try to get into this probe line. And uh-oh, guys. These probes don't have anywhere to run. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. And they will all go down. 19 probes getting taken out here. The fourth base does get defended. Whoa. That was lag. That was big lag, and I do not like it. I think that was me. I think that was my computer. It felt like computer lag, not internet lag, but I don't know why I would say that's the case. LingBane's trying to get into this fourth base here. They're not really doing much right now, and that's going to give time for the army to get back. Static defense working exactly as intended. Other bases still chilling. Lambo just trying to pull the army back for a little bit, though, I think, more than anything there. The Oracle going to dive forward and dive forward. Disruptor Nova's going out. Good splits here from Lambo. They do get some connections, but not the biggest connections. There are a ton of Archons in this. I think Biles just hit Banelings there, which means ShowWTime going to be able to keep pushing forward. These Archons is fake. Lambo pulling back this fourth base in a lot of trouble right now. Supplies are very, very close. 13 more Roaches on the way out, but they are not here yet. And Disruptor Nova's connecting. Banelings hitting a lot of Archons. The Stalker's pulling forward. ShowWTime trying to put a clinch on this series right now and take down Lambo with this counter. And I think he might be able to do it. He's got a lot of gateways. We've got stuttering lag here, which is actually so frustrating. I really don't know if that's, it must be me. I've never experienced lag like this before. But yeah, with 10 gateways, there's just going to be continuous warpins. Look at the Stalker warpins here from ShowWTime, and GG gets called. ShowWTime is going to take the 2-1 victory over Lambo, which means that ShowWTime just went from 2 points over Lambo to 4. And that means that if ShowWTime loses in the semis now, then Lambo needs to get to the finals of NA without ShowWTime getting anywhere, to getting even to the semis. Lambo needs to get to the finals of NA in order to surpass. But if ShowWTime wins his semis here, then Lambo needs to win the finals of NA. And if ShowWTime wins the finals here, Lambo can't catch up. And if neither of them play, then Lambo is putting his faith in Zest leaving, a Laser not winning the whole Last Chance tournament, and DRG not winning a single match. DRG needs to win 1 match. Ragnarok needs to win 2 matches. It's not based on global points, it's based on combined points. All right, so it's based on their combined points. So Ragnarok is at 697, DRG is at 716. They're both in Last Chance. Wow, winning 1 match really gives you that many points? It does. It gives you 35 points winning 1 match. Because instead of being 13th through 16th, you are 9th through 12th. That is huge. That is a huge deal. Because you know what, man? DRG can win 1 match. He's up against Cyril first, though. That's painful.